Hey, what's up everyone? Been doing a bit of retail therapy. Come check it out. Welcome back everyone. During lockdown, I did a bit of retail therapy. I always thought it was Johnny who did all that sort of thing. It applies to me too. So I did a bit of shopping and I got myself a new toy or a gadget, and I'll get down into that in a minute. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell because I bring out an overlanding related video every single week. At the end of this video, if you liked it, if you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, please do ask. So let's dive into today's video. So like everyone else in the overlanding community, one thing you really cherish is a hot shower after a long, drawn out day. And more particularly, in our outback here in Australia, we are, full of dust, and depending on the time of year, it's hot and sweaty. A shower would be heaven sent. In the past, I had a very cheap system for showering. So one end of the shower, it had a little submersible pump that ran off 12-volt supply from the vehicle, and at the other end I had a shower rose. So it's very simple and cheap. It was functional, it worked, because all I had to do was, when you get to a campsite, boil some water, put that water in, mix it with a bit of cold water, get it warm enough, put it into a bucket, drop the submersible pump into the bucket, and we had a shower. It was functional, it worked. But the problem was, it was a bit of a mission. You have to set up camp, get all that done, then boil water in a kettle, pour it into a bucket, and then mix it up with cold water just to get it right. Sometimes by the time I got that done, the damn water was cold. So it was time to do something a bit more improved. Now, what have I got myself? Well, I got myself a gas heated shower system, which I can carry in my 4B. Now, initially, I wanted to get an electrical system. I did a whole lot of research, and there was a really good electrical system which I wanted to install, where at the flick of a button on the go, the water would warm up. So when I got to a campsite, all I had to do was hook up the shower rose and I had a shower. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because the space that I had available in my 80 series was not adequate. It wasn't going to cut it. So I had to give up on that idea. So then I started researching into gas heated shower systems, which were portable at the same time. And after doing a lot of research, I came across this brand. It's called Joolca, and the model is called Hottap version 2. Joolca is a Kiwi or a New Zealand-based brand manufacturer, but you can buy it anywhere in Australia, and I believe you can get it in various other countries as well. I got my unit through Tent World. I went on their online store and I bought it from them. They had a really good deal, and their service in the past has been brilliant as well. I'm not sponsored by Joolca or by Tent World or anybody else. This is, after doing all my research, this is what I found as to be what's suitable for me. And also the reviews told me it was very reliable, robust, and so on. So watch this video till the very end, because initially I'm going to go through all the bits and pieces and what makes up this unit. And then a little later on, towards the end of the video, I'm going to do a demo of how this works. In fact, I'll be trying it for the very first time as you guys are watching this video. So what does this system consist of? So initially, the main unit is the unit itself, which does all the heating. So it's not very heavy. It's about 4 kilos. And one thing I found was I have certain space within my drawers in my 4x4, and this would fit in there perfectly. So that was one of the things that I was looking for. Where am I going to store it? And this worked out very well. And the unit is portable, so I can set it up just about anywhere in the campsite. So quite a handy handle, and that stores it away quite nicely when I'm no longer using it. So that's the handle there, locks into place and works very well. And then when we get to a campsite and we're setting this up, there are 2 legs that fits onto the 2 ends here. So basically what you do is take those 2 screws out, put the leg in there, and then it fits into place. So pretty straightforward. Then it's got the 3 connectors. So This connector here, that's for the gas inlet. This connector here is the hot water outlet, and the blue is obviously the cold water inlet. Simple as that, and they all connect up just the way you would connect a garden hose. So it's very easy. So just clip in, clip in, clip in, and you're good to go. On the outside here, so that knob there is your control of water flow, and that there is the control of the amount of heat. So, and then there's a little indicator here. From what I understand, it shows you the temperature that you have set it to. I don't know exact if that works, how accurate it is. I guess I'll soon find out. And then it's got a few other indicators in there because it takes in 2D size batteries. So it'll tell you the battery level, if there is water flow or not, and so on. And it's a few indicators which are pretty useful. But for me, the main would be the temperature and how accurate it is. All these other bits and pieces. Okay, so let's start with the gas. So it comes with the gas supply. You got to get your own gas bottle. And that they supplied with the regulator. So that's your supply for the gas into the Joolca system. So it's a clip-on, and all you do is there, it locks into place. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Once you've hooked up the gas, don't connect it to the gas bottle just yet. Let's get all the other connectors done. Now, let's start with the water supply. So this is where these two blue hoses come in. So one hose is into the supply in the unit. So that goes in there, clips in quite nicely. And then that goes into this unit here, which is the pump. Now, that's something you need to remember. You need a pump. The pump pressure or the water pressure is what activates the system. So that's very important. Now, there is the entry-level variation of this model, which does not come with a pump. And that's for those of you who may have a pump already, or you want to do your own DIY pump system. That works well. I went for this unit because this comes with the pump. As I said, I'll leave links below in the description for all the models where you can get it. You can do your own, research as well. So this goes into the pump here, which would be from this side, because that's where the flow of water comes in. So this goes into the unit. And then the second hose will be to your source, which in my case will most likely be a bucket or some kind of a can of water. And that gets hooked there. And you then, before you drop this into your source, you can hook it up into a filter. So the filter comes with the unit, hook it in, and that'll go into just about any can or bucket through the opening quite easily. You can also get supply of water from like a river or a stream. If you're doing that, they supply this unit here, which is a bit like a floater. So then how it works is the filter comes in from the outside and the connector comes in from the inside and stays very firm. It's not loose or anything of that sort. And then you drop it into your source. Thereafter, the pump obviously needs a power source, power supply to run it. They supply this 5 meters, I think it is. It's a 5 meter, 12 volt supply cable. So that connects onto the back end of the pump, and stating the obvious, goes into the power source in your 4B. Then comes the hot water outlet. So for the hot water, again, stating the obvious, it's the red hose that will then hook up onto the red outlet, hot water outlet in the unit. That connects to the shower rose over here. And that goes through this controller unit here. And your shower rose connects to the other end. There you go. It also comes with this unit here, which basically holds, you can attach it to whatever that you're going to have this shower hanging from. So either you could hang that unit, or it's magnetic at the back here, so you can put it onto the body of your 4B and it'll stay pretty firm. That said, now all hooked up, what you then need to do is switch on your gas supply. So your water source is ready to rock and roll. And then all you do, everything is controlled from this one switch. Now you'll see all this when I do the demo and I try it out for the first time a little later in the video, so keep watching. So all you're going to do is switch it on. As soon as you switch this on, the pump kicks in, the hot water heating system within the gas unit here kicks in, and voila, you get your hot water coming through. So now, come with me, let's go outside and give it a shot. Okay, so I've got it all hooked up. So I've got my gas turned on. I've got my bucket with water and the filter in there. Now, usually when I go off-road touring, I carry one of those collapsible type buckets. Just for the demonstration here, I'm using one of these garden buckets that I've got. The pump is switched on and everything is hooked up. I've set the temperature to moderate. I'm still learning how the temperature comes out. And then the water flow, that's the blue knob there, I've turned it as minimum as possible, because the whole idea is to get a nice shower but at the same time conserve water. So all hooked up, let's see how it goes. I could hear the igniter coming on, the pump's running, pumping water through from the bucket, igniter is switched on, and it's pretty warm. Yeah, it's really nice and warm. Today's generally a cold day right now. It's about, I think, 18 degrees, and I can feel the water nice and warm. This will be a really nice shower out in the bush. So yeah, it works very well, very convenient. Setup took me about maybe 5 minutes at the most. I'm sure as I do it more often, it'll get quicker and more efficient. And in fact, it's a bit too warm. According to the indicator here, it's about 38 degrees, so I can tone it down a little bit more. So I've toned it down a little bit more because it's a bit too warm for my liking. Yeah, that's much better. So it's down to about 20, I think it's down to about 25, 26 now. And yeah, it works beautifully. If I wanted to, I could increase the flow, but I don't want to do that because the whole idea is to conserve. Okay, a few other things to show you guys is in here, this little window here, that's just for you to look through and to see if the igniter is working. So once you switch on the shower from here, the igniter kicks in. You can actually hear the sound. Once the igniter kicks in, and if you want to double make sure that it is working, look through there and you will see the flames. This LCD panel here, it'll show you the temperature. It'll show you how the battery level. It'll show you whether the water flow is coming through, if the igniter is on or not. And then, of course, like I said, the temperature. Now, before ending the video, I thought I'd share with you where I store it and sort of the thought process that always goes into where I put things in my 4B. Now, before I buy anything, I first figure out what space is available to me within the 4B, because as I said at the beginning of the video, access or ease of access is always very important to me. So I first figure out what space is available, then went looking for a product which would suit in terms of its dimensions into that space. Now, of course, the quality of the product is important to me, but at the same time, I have a limited space. Weight is one thing, obviously, I look at. I try to keep it as light as possible. Secondly, where do I store it? So I don't go get a product and then try to figure out where to chuck that. I do it the other way around, and that's the same thought process I had when I was looking for this shower system. So here we are. That's the space that I have. I've always had that space available. Now this is going to go in there. Now, one more thing, I want to try and keep whatever I buy protected, get the maximum life out of it without much damage. So what I did was I was looking for a bag with a bit of cushioning so that it'll keep it protected while it's in there. And then I discovered, lying around at home, I had one of these Coles bags, and it comes fairly well padded. It's a bit worn, but it's going to do a good job. So I'm going to put this Coles bag, and then that's gonna go into my drawers. There you go, nice, easy. And then all that's left to do is put in the legs, and there you go. I'm ready to go camping. Hope you found this video useful. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I bring out a video every single week overlanding related. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.